The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has over 10,000 unique cards for players to collect, trade, and construct their own personal decks. But what would happen if players only had access to the bare minimum? In this series, both the TheRJB0 and myself will each open a very select amount of sealed product. Once we open that product, we must build a deck using only those specific cards pulled, that's it. And at the end of each episode, we discard the entirety of our pulls to the graveyard and start from scratch with a new product. Every card counts. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed Showdown. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMOOOOO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. You know, at this point, there's really not much else to say for Sealed Showdown. This episode has inspired some of the craziest, wackiest decks to come together, and somehow they work. And this episode is probably going to be no different because we are doing the entire wave of 2008 collector tins. Now, if you didn't know, these actually came in 3 separate waves. There was wave 1, wave 2, and the 2008 exclusive tins. You may have seen this if you were a fan of the auction series back several months ago, but we're gonna do all these in one entire opening. So there's going to be, I believe, 7 tins worth of packs that we're opening. I believe the total pack count is 35. For the wave 1, there are 2 of them. We're going to be getting 2 Phantom Darkness packs each, a Light of Destruction pack, and 2 Duelist Genesis packs, as well as a promo of Stardust Dragon and Red Dragon Archfiend. For wave 2, we get a Phantom Darkness pack, Light of Destruction, and Duelist Genesis pack per tin, and then we also get a Black Rose Dragon and Turbo Warrior promo. And then the exclusive tins, we get a Phantom Darkness pack, 2 Light of Destruction packs, and 2 Duelist Genesis packs per tin, and we also get 3 promos in the form of, I believe, Montage Dragon, Nitro Warrior, and Goyo Guardian. So we're already starting off this episode with a pool of 7 Synchro Monsters, and it's only going to go up from here. So let's go ahead and crack open 35 packs. Let's see what we're gonna get. All right, so first up is Crossroads of Chaos. This goes alphabetically once we load this into the pack opener here. Only 4 packs of this. Polynosis is an interesting little counter trap, but unless we have enough good plant support to support it, I'm not sure if it's gonna be very good. Copy Plant, Nettles, these are both tuners, so I'm happy to see this because I think one of the biggest issues is we need tuners if we want to play the Synchros, and 2 of the 4 packs we are opening do not have any because it's before Synchro Monsters existed. So that's going to be the gold rush that we're trying to look for. Okay, there is a tuner, Rose Warrior of Revenge Ultimate Rare. I don't think it gets much better than this. Level 4 tuner. This means it's going to enable some of the strongest Synchros that we have access to. Turbo Synchron's another one as well. That's a rare. I am psyched for this pack. And there we go. Let's have some more Synchros to add to our Synchro pool. Iron Chain Dragon and super rare Queen of Thorns. Where was this in the Crossroads of Chaos episode? This would have been much needed, but it is what it is. And a Psychic Life Transfer in the last pack of Crossroads of Chaos. That is incredible. Psychic Jumper is also a tuner, so we at least got several tuners, and I think Rose is probably without a doubt the best one. Next up's Light of Destruction. Duelist Genesis may be at the end, and that's going to be scary.
Not gonna lie, folks, Crossroads of Chaos was not kind to us as a pack. Our opening was, oh boy, not what I hoped for out of it. But today we are getting one of the craziest sets of products Sealed Showdown has ever covered. The 2008 collectors and exclusive tins containing the most absurd lineup of packs and promos I have ever seen in any product ever. We get to open 9 Phantom Darkness, 10 Light of Destruction, 12 Duelist Genesis, and 4 Crossroads of Chaos. And oh boy, do we have the potential for some absolutely absurdly powerful decks today. Let's hope we get some of those crazy bombs that come in every single one of these packs. Looks like we'll be starting with the Phantom Darkness and starting off with Yubel as our opener. This is a terrible card, unless of course we get the next incarnation up. Yubel Terror Incarnate would be a crazy pull. Meanwhile, Gladiator Beast Andal is very, very solid, so I'm glad to be seeing that. We get Drastic Drop Off, a card I am probably running just because it's there. Black Velocity is really solid. The Calculator is potentially really good too. And of course, the MVP of the Phantom Darkness episode, Castlegate. Can't forget that one. Another drastic drop-off. Alex will not be allowed to draw cards this episode. Dark Crusader is also potentially pretty solid, though, because there are decent darks in all of these sets, and it can just get beefy, and it can get permanently beefy, so that's pretty solid. Gigaplant is actually a genuinely strong rare. I was kind of suspecting I'd never see out of this set on this show. Gladiator Beast Darius, also potentially good in case we pull a Geysaris out of Light of Destruction. And Gemini Trapple also potentially pretty solid. Rainbow Life is not ideal, but Gladiator Beast Andal is very, very strong. And Wind Effigy does have a target in the next set in Dark, or I wish Dark Cimoooooooo, in Cimoooooooo Burn of Ancestry. So there's a potential we'll actually see this effect come up. All right, pack number 6. 6 Samurai United is not one of the rares we were hoping for, but honestly, the rares in this set have not been great, or just aren't great, except for some of the ones we've already gotten. Third Gladiator Beast Andal is very solid, though. We now have 3 of one of the premier beat sticks in this episode. A Future Samurai and another Yubel. Because why would my Holo Luck be anything other than utter absurdity? What has this been? 2 Yubel and 2 drastic drop-off. What a weird pack. Fires of Doomsday potentially fairly strong. These cards can be used as synchro material even if we don't have a dark to tribute them for. Blue Thunder T45, also a potentially very funny card depending on what cards become big this set. Let's see what we get. Oh yes! Perfect, just what I wanted to see. Storm Neos as an ultra rare. What has been going on here, folks? Obsidian Dragon at the common slot, however, is very good, as is Gladiator Beast Darius, again, in case we get ourselves a Geysaris.
All right, so 10 packs of Light of Destruction. There's a lot of powerful cards here. Soul Rope, I actually think, is one of them. This is basically Monster Reborn, isn't it? When it's destroyed by card effect and sent to grave, pay 1,000 life points, special summon level 4 or more monsters. So this means that if anything gets hit by removal, we get to summon something for free, which means it's going to give us more fodder to be able to go into our synchro plays. Garroth's a nice hit. I think we got Jane in the last pack. Lady in White to 2200 Defender, and she's level 3. The star alignment's going to be what matters most for the synchros, but the fact that she'll stick around is important. There's an Industrial Strength. We need to get all of the other battery men in these last 7 packs for us to use this, but this is a huge bomb that doesn't rely on us going into the extra deck. So I'd like to see 2 copies of Charger. 3 would be ideal. Oh my god. Well, there's Ribbon of Rebirth. They'll probably play this because it's like technically Monster Reborn, but there is Dangerous Machine Type 6. This card is such a meme. If anyone remembers this from like the video games or from Joey, holy crap. So during each of your standby phases, roll 6-sided die and apply the result. If it's a 1, you discard a card. If it's 2, your opponent discards a card. 3, you draw a card. 4, your opponent draws a card. 5, destroy a monster your opponent controls. And 6, destroy this card. So there's like a 50% chance it's going to go your way and a 50% chance it won't. I may play this because this is actually very funny. Lumina's a nice pickup. There's Portable Battery Pack as well if we want to play some of the Battery Men, but we need the actual Battery Men cards that we haven't seen any of yet. There's Limit Reverse, which we also didn't see in Light of Destruction, and is one of the several reasons why we lost that episode. Second Limit Reverse. You know, Limit Reverse in this set specifically is going to be very important because this can bring back tuners, which means we can just go normal summon Limit Reverse into a tuner and then make a synchro play. We didn't have access to that before. Summon Limit might be also important as well because it could possibly stop synchro plays because they summon 1, summon 2, and then they can't go into the synchro because that's their 3rd. And another Garroth, it's a good beater, so we'll take it. There's Micro Cell, but we need Charger more importantly because Charger can actually be used with Portable Battery Pack to sort of like win the game immediately. It's not in our favor, but I can still hope. Arcana Force the Fool, this card was actually quite good in Light of Destruction. It can't be killed by battle, so we'll probably play that no matter what. Only a few packs left though. Let's go ahead and just get through the last ones here. Please, can we get some Battery Men? It's another Micro Cell. It's not going to be good enough. Another Lumina though, and Phantom Dragon in the Ultra Rare slot. That's probably going to go in, even though it's not super ideal. It's good enough to play just because it's a giant thing we can drop. Last pack here. Another Summon Limit. I think we have 3 copies of Microcell. So theoretically, if we want to play bad cards like Microcell because we don't have any synergy with them, we could technically play Industrial Strength. Are we going to do that? We'll see. But we've got some Phantom Darkness packs to open, so let's do that.
Let's check out Light of Destruction and see if we do. Starting off, we have a Jane. Jane is very strong, as is Limit Reverse, as is Battery Man Charger. I am not sad to see pretty much this entire pack. Hero Blast also potentially relevant because of that Storm Neos. No, it's not. A Froggy Force Field is a kind of funny rare, depending on the frogs that we get. Portable Battery Pack, very good if we keep seeing Battery Men. Volcanic Queen, also potentially very strong, as is Interplanetary Invader A, and a second Jane is not bad at all. Destruction Jammer is a pretty good card. This does help us out with some of the cards that are definitely going to be in this set. Jane also, another Jane is great, so that's 3 Jane, which I cannot complain about, and that's only 3 packs in. Let's see if we can top that. Another Froggy Force Field would be great if I start seeing Unifrogs. A second Battery Man Charger is great, but we really only want to start seeing this if we're seeing the micro cells and the portable battery packs to go with it. Lady in White, however, is very strong. It's a 2200 defender and is level 3, which is great for synchro plays. Soul Rope, sure. Union Attack. This is actually a potentially good card if I remember correctly. It basically lets you get additional attack on one monster if you have multiple monsters on the field, which could be strong enough to get us over some of the big beat sticks available in these sets. Volcanic Queen, again, pretty good. The Lady in White, also pretty good. Golden Ladybug, terrible. There's a Lumina. Okay, Lumina is a very powerful rare, and Arcana Force Zero the Fool, also spectacular to see. Let's see if I can get like 2 more good commons. Another Froggy Force Field. Still no frogs to go with the Froggy Force Field, but still a potentially strong card. And a Battery Man Microcell is good to at least have a target to summon out of the deck off of my 2 chargers. If I can get another Battery Man Microcell and another portable battery pack, that's definitely going to be a consideration for the episode. A Graganith is fairly strong given our Lightsworn pool. There's a Unifrog, which is great. Arcana Force the Temperance is probably not that great though. All right, last pack of Light of Destruction. This has been a solid pack for us so far. Let's see if we can close out with a bang, and Glorious Illusion is indeed a bang, as is a second Unifrog, which does turn on Froggy Force Field, as well as a Garoth, which is pretty solid to get names in the graveyard for Graganith. So we have some good Reborn cards out of this set, which is what we really wanted from it, as well as some decent Battery Man support. We'll see if we can put something together off of that. Let's get into the Duelist Genesis, where things can really kick it up a notch.
All right, so 9 Phantom Darkness packs. I believe the last set of tins only had 1 pack each, and there was 3 tins, so I think that's where we got an odd number from. But there could be potentially some big cards in here, and this first pack is looking quite all right. Obsidian Dragon's a good defender. Black Veloci is a strong attacker. Fires of Doomsday could be relevant. We're going to have to see how this all works together once it's all said and done. Sinister Seeds is actually an okay card for tribute summoning monsters, and so depending on the way our deck looks, we may include this. Super Polymerization is very funny, but I don't think we have any fusion monsters that we can actually use this. Well, ask and you shall receive. There is a fusion monster. There's no way we can actually play Storm Neos, right? What do you need for this? Neos, Air Hummingbird, Aqua Dolphin? No shot. We are not going to play that. Cry Havoc is like okay, but another Black Veloci is nice. I mean, that's a pretty sick pull. Ultimate Rare, Beginning of the End. Sadly, we are not going to play this because I don't think dark synergistic strategy is the way to go, but being able to draw 3, who doesn't want to draw 3? All right, last couple packs of Phantom Darkness. Lone Fire is pretty nice. We need to have a good plant payoff. We don't have Titanial this time yet. Oh no, we opened the Crossroads of Chaos packs. We didn't get Titanial, but that's a nice one. Andal's like okay. Proving Ground can search Andal. Sinister Seeds. That's an okay pack. Last pack though, can we just get like a huge secret rare in the close? Shadow Priestess of Ohm. I don't think that's going to be good enough. We're going to have to look at this all together before we can really evaluate. But more importantly, Duelist Genesis. We need a lot of tuners if we want to be doing some synchro summoning, so let's hope for the best.
Yamato no Kami is not an ideal rare, but it is pretty decent if we see a good portion of spirit support. However, the rest of our cards are very strong. Judgment of Thunder is strong with Batterymen. Psi Station is great with our Psychics that we're already getting in Destructotron and Mind Protector, and of course, Telepathic Power, one of the strongest cards in the set. Ginkgo. Sure, it's a spirit, I guess, although we have some level 1s in this set that may be worth running. Graceful Revival is great, as is Battle Tuned. Gladiator Beast of Quest is kind of funny, but I don't think that we're going to end up running it because I don't think we have any Gladiator spell traps to work with. Quillbolt Hedgehog, good for making synchros though. Fighting Spirit is a really, really good rare. I've been very happy with my rares so far, and this just keeps up the good work. A Krebons is great to see, as is a Genis Lightsword Mender, who is a good defender and is a name for Gragoneth. So far, so good. The Tricky is incredibly strong in this set because of our access to synchros. Book of Eclipse is great. Dr. Cranium is great. Psi Station is great. I'm hoping to get some of the Psychic Snail out of this pack. We'll see if we can get to that. Desynchro is very strong in this set. Exactly. Lets us get rid of some of Alex's synchros, which are going to be very strong, and that's pretty much all. Another Fighting Spirit, another Book of Eclipse, another Telepathic Power, another Dr. Cranium. This has been a very good set of commons and rares for me. Defense draw is okay. It is a deck thinning, which is pretty decent. Another Genis is great. Mind Protector is pretty decent, and Mecha Bunny is as well if we get multiples. Shield Warrior is but another Mecha Bunny is okay. Oh, okay. That's not a bad one. Go-Yo Guardian as an ultra rare gives us a second Go-Yo to work with, which means with the number of level 2 tuners we've had access to, there's a very good chance that we are going to get to make multiple Go-Yos, which could really throw Alex for a loop. Not sad to see that card. And a third Genis Lightsworn Mender is pretty solid. Grapple Blocker is not ideal, but Book of Eclipse is great. Battle Tuned is great. Psychic Snail is great. The commons in this set are so good. Mind Over Matter is pretty good. We've got a great Psychic lineup. A Destructotron also solid. Overworked also pretty good. This pack has treated us very well so far. And it isn't stopping there. Psychic Overload and another Book of Eclipse is great. Cold Enchanter isn't even a bad card in and of itself. This pack has been phenomenal and is definitely going to form the backbone of our deck. Finally, 4 packs of Crossroads of Chaos. Can it redeem itself for me today? Not so far. Psychic Jumper is undeniably a good card, as is Card Rotator though. Miracle Fertilizer, very, very good with the lineup of plants I have. Gigantic Cephalotus, also strong. Fragrance Storm, also potentially strong. Cactus Fighter is very strong as a 1900 beat stick, revivable off of the Miracle Fertilizer I already have. Card Rotator, again, very good in the Spell Trap lineup. Let us get one more good card out of this set, and I will be so happy with this opening. And Prideful Roar in the rare slot is so spectacularly good. A second Fragrance Storm is interesting, and the Revival Gift is very strong potentially. This has been a phenomenal opening for me. My holos haven't been like interesting for the most part, but my commons and rares have really been good enough to get me there. I'm excited to do the deck building for this set.
Thankfully, we get the most Duelist Genesis packs out of them all, so 12 packs of this coming right up. Book of Eclipse is very strong for stopping potential synchro plays, but here are the good tuners. Krebons, Psychic Commander, all these cards are fantastic. Dr. Cranium's not bad because it can search some of the tuners. We'll probably play it just because of that. Telepathic Power is also removal if we play enough Psychic cards. Second Telepathic Power, I'd really like to play these just because removal is a bit hard to come by in some of these last few sets here, and so that's nice to have. Psi Station's pretty good if we have a high enough density of Psychics. Another Book of Eclipse, that's really strong for disrupting synchros, but also for just killing them straight up as well. Third Book of Eclipse, okay, Overworked is an interesting one. Psychic Commander is another tuner, and Ultimate Rare Dark Hunter. I don't think this card is very good. Its effect changes depending on the number of dark monsters in grave. 1 or fewer, it loses 400 attack. 2 to 4 gains 400 attack. 5 or more, send this to the graveyard. All face down monsters your opponent controls. That's not terrible. We need to have enough darks for this to be a payoff, but a 2k normal summon's not bad. I'm actually kind of hyped to see the Tricky. I think this card might be pretty decent if we have enough good tuners, because we could just discard something special Tricky, summon a tuner, and then just go into any synchro monster we want, depending on the tuner's level, whether it's 7 or 8. So this might actually go in our deck. Oystermeister is also something not to undermine, just because this card could potentially lead to some bigger synchro plays as well. Destructotron spell and trap removal, which is nice as well. I mean, just Duelist Genesis is really rounding out our pulls nicely. Krebons, the Selection is a nice removal card. Twin Barrel Dragon. I think this card's actually decent. When it's summoned, target a card your opponent controls, toss a coin. If it's 2 heads, destroy it. So, not super likely, but you could get very lucky, and with my protagonist powers, I will always hit this. Another Dr. Cranium is nice for just getting to our tuners. Shield Warrior's not terrible because it can protect our monsters from battle. Battle Tuned is a sort of removal card. Just overall, these cards are pretty decent. It just really depends on if they fit together. Another copy of the Selection. That's actually a really big pull. Again, removal is pretty hard to find in these packs, and like decent removal. Like, we play bad removal in this series all the time, but if we can get good removal, we'll take it. Third copy of the selection. Wow, another Krebons, another Psychic Commander. I think this gives us play sets of these as well. Let's just open our last few packs here. I mean, this has been fantastic. We could obviously get more. Sinister Sprocket, I do not think is good enough. Fish Depth Charge might be worth playing because we have Oystermeister, so we could just have that for more removal potentially. Yamato no Kami, I don't think is worth playing, although I'll take a look later. Last pack, anything good? It doesn't look like it. It was what, D-Synchro? That'd be very funny, but I don't think it's very good. So that's probably the worst pack we actually got out of the bunch. A lot of things to consider for this episode. I think there is the makings of a pretty decent deck. So let's go ahead and get to building, see what we can come up with.
Wow, this looks like a mess. I was expecting something not consistent from a 10 episode, but this is really something. But I mean, if it puts level 4s and level 2 tuners on the board, then like, who am I to complain? Let's get into it. First off, basically this is working off of 3 packages. We've got plants, we've got psychics, we've got light sworns. And that's pretty much the explanation for the deck. The card by card, we have Graganeth because it's a big beat stick and it gets bigger the more light sworns I have. We've got Triple Jane because it's a normal summonable beat stick. We've got Triple Genis, Mender. That one. Don't see this card very often, but what's special about this card is it's summonable off of both Limit Reverse and Glorious Illusions, and has a little bit of interesting synergy with some other light sworn cards if I want to get my burn and heal on. Mostly it's a revivable level 4 with 2100 defense. We've got Lumina because it's Lumina, and then our Psychic engine. We've got Psychic Snail because it's the biggest one. We've got one Destructitron. I've got a second one in the side deck. This card is really good for clearing the back row before I go into synchros. One Psychic Jumper because it synergizes with things and is a level 2 tuner, and I'm down bad for tuners. One Mind Protector because it's a level 3 with 2200 defense, and a level 3 plus a level 3 tuner is good enough for me. One Krebons because it's Krebons and I only got one. 2 Dr. Cranium to make it a little bit better that all my psychics are one-ofs, and that's it for my psychic lineup. No psychic commanders. Our next engine is a plant engine. I got some cool plant stuff, and so I'm excited to play it. One Cactus Fighter because it's a big beat stick, one Gigaplant, and one Nettles. These synergize really nicely with Miracle Fertilizer. If I get either Gigaplant or Miracle Fertilizer into play, these cards are a plus every turn, which is super sick. Even better if I can use Miracle Fertilizer to bring back Gigaplant, because if you Miracle Fertilizer Gigaplant the next turn, you can normal summon Gigaplant, and after that you basically get 2 free plants from your graveyard every turn, which is sick. Nettles is also a level 2 tuner, which synergizes with Cactus Fighter. You can tell which synchro I'm going for in this deck. We've got Jitte Fighter. It's a level 2 tuner, and it's got kind of a cool effect, can turn like a Goyo Guardian sideways, which could be good enough for us. And one Comrade Swordsman of Landstar, because this is the only level 3 tuner I got. And finally, one The Tricky, because it's a level 5, it's special summonable, and that's good enough to get all of the synchros I want out. My spell cards are probably the best thing about my deck. Double Battle Tuned, triple Book of Eclipse to stop those spells or those synchro summons, one card Rotator to respond to synchro summons, one D-Synchro, that's basically just synchro removal, double Fighting Spirit for the battle protection, and the little bit extra for those dinky monsters. This will probably be good enough to get us over the edge, and also it helps us to get around some of the bigger synchros if we don't have access to them ourselves. We've got Union Attack. Union Attack is another way for me to take out things like Goyo Guardian. I can put together 2 monsters on the board that have just enough attack, and if I combine them, I can just run the darn thing over. My trap cards are 3 different forms of trap cards. First, my Call of the Haunted retrains in Glorious Illusion, Graceful Revival, and Limit Reverse to make it easier to synchro summon. My double Telepathic Power to have removal available to me at any time. One Prideful Roar for the combat trick, and then 2 negations in Destruction Jammer and Mind Over Matter, both of which I expect to come up. The side deck is really just tuning what we already have. The Fool in case we need to stall to get some tributes or some synchros. A Black the Raptor dude. For some more beats, we've got one Destructitron in case the back row really is coming up and I want to make sure that I'm clearing that stuff. One Graganeth for more tribute summon stuff. One Nitro Synchron because Nitro Warrior is actually a pretty decent card. Double Volcanic Queen in case Alex gets anything I don't want him to have on the field and is worth losing my normal summon for. One Gladiator Beast and all. 1900 vanilla. One more card rotator, because we already have Book of Eclipse in the main deck. We don't need double card rotator in the main deck as well. That is far too much battle manipulation. One deck lockdown in case Alex does get the Geysaris, because if he gets Geysaris, he can play Bestiari, and with Bestiari, there's actually a really, really good Gladiator Beast lineup. So deck lockdown is the one card I have in the side deck to deal with that. Double drastic drop off, I don't know, in case he's searching things. One goes in match, because it's a floodgate. One overworked because Alex might also be on psychic stuff, and one revival gift for another access to tuners. And our extra deck is everything we got. Double Goyo's pretty good. Let's get into it.
Gotta be honest, feeling pretty good for this episode. Looking at the way this deck all came together and the fact that we have so many accessible tools in our extra deck, I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. And there's a lot of different directions you can go depending on the way your pulls went. So let's go and do the card by card. So our main game plan is to just play sort of like psychic good stuff, like also like with synchro good stuff, because if we can stick any of the synchros, we're in pretty good shape. But I want to play as much removal as possible as well to prevent Robert from getting in a similar situation. So we have Destructitron here just to pop some back row, because there are a few cards that are quite annoying. 2 Dr. Cranium to search any of our psychics. Then we have a bunch of level 4s that we're just trying to stick to the field, because we need this plus our tuners in order to go for the bigger synchros. So I'm playing 2 Garroth, 2 Gemini Lancer, and a Jane. The theory here is that this is better than like Black Veloci, because that card will just die on the crackback almost immediately. And I like these a little bit better than more defenders like Obsidian Dragon and the like, because I need to have a way to actually close out the game. And the problem with the 2K defenders is that they have basically no attack stats. And so that's why these are all here. Gemini Lancer also has synergy with Gemini Trap Hole, which I am not main decking, but I have it in the side. So I just want to have this here for some utility. Then we have some tuners in the form of Krebons, one of the best ones. We're only on 1 copy of Lumina. I could play 2, but I really just don't want to be relying on this card, because I'm afraid of milling myself out with all the Lightsworn effects. And we can get this off of Limit Reverse if it goes to the graveyard. We can get back one of our 4s, maybe do that like in the end phase or something, and then bring back one of our tuners and then just go off. That's sort of like what Lumina is here for. Then we do have a few 2K defenders, because these are likely to stick around, but again, I need guys that are actually going to address the board as well. We have triple Oystermeister. This serves 2 purposes. A, for just non-tuner fodder, but B, in tandem with Fish Depth Charge. This is a way that we can actually clear opposing synchro monsters, or Robert attempting to go into synchro monsters. And so I have 3 of these paired with 3 of these, because I think that's actually pretty decent removal. 1 Phantom Dragon. This card wasn't too great last time we pulled it, but hopefully it'll be a little bit better this time. Triple Psychic Commander. I like this one the best, because the fact that it's 3-star means that we're able to access level 7s with our level 4s. And then if we have Size Station, we're actually able to make this a level 8, which means we can access our level 8 synchros. 1 Psychic Jumper. I like the idea of being able to just take Robert's best synchro monster, as long as we have another psychic to pair with this. Rose Warrior of Revenge is a level 4 tuner, so we couldn't ask for anything better. 1 Tricky. This plus our Psychic Commander is an immediate 8-star synchro, so that's 100% worth it. Turbo Synchron's here because we do have Turbo Warrior, and also I think this card is okay, and that does it for the monsters. Then the spells. Battle Tune is a little battle trick. 3 Book of Eclipse. I think this is very powerful for 2 reasons. A, it allows us to stop Robert from going into synchro plays, but B, it also allows us to kill synchro monsters if we top deck it, because a lot of the synchro monsters have pretty puny defense, and that means some of our larger bodies can get over it. Another reason why I wanted to play some of these. We have 1 Size Station, only pulled 1, but I don't think I'd want to play more. I just want this for the attack boost, but also for the level increase as well, because being able to make Psychic Commander a 4 or Krebons a 3 means that we can access a much wider pool of our synchros. 1 Ribbon of Rebirth, because it's basically Monster Reborn, and then triple Fish Depth Charge, double Limit Reverse, double Telepathic Power. This is sort of like Sakuretsu armor for psychics, and so I figured that's one to max out on the psychics for that reason, because this is removal. And triple Selection. This card is insane, and hopefully this is going to allow us to get ahead in these games. For the extra deck, we have everything that we pulled, plus our copy of Queen of Thorns, and I believe Psychic Life Transfer wasn't from the tins either. I think Iron Chain may have been as well. And then the side deck, 2 Interplanetary Invader A. This card's just kind of annoying, but there is a decent amount of removal, so I'm not too convinced this card's gonna be that great. A Montage Dragon, which is from the tins. This card has a huge cost, but this card can get massive, so we'll see how it goes. 1 Card Rotator. I was a fan of this card last episode, and so I figured we'd have it in the sideboard. 2 Unleash Your Power for our Gemini Trap Hole. We do need this all to work in tandem together. 1 Call the Earthbound if we want to try to protect our things. Double Overworked in case stat modifiers actually matter. This is technically removal. Remote Revenge is a way to redirect destruction effects. Soul Rope I don't really want in the main deck, because because the monster has to be destroyed by a card effect specifically, and that's sort of hard to do in sealed, so I'm not convinced on this. And I do like double summon limit. I do think this will be an all-star, because if we can stick a summon and then we're able to actually summon limit Robert, that's going to give us a huge edge, especially if he doesn't know that this is coming. If we summon like a big synchro and then summon limit, it might just be lights out. So I'm excited to see what Robert's bringing to the table. It's going to be a lot of fun to play this episode out. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Well, Robert, at least this time we're on relatively equal footing in the synchro department, courtesy of these lovely 08 tins that we have the world at our disposal, right? We have Stardust Dragon.
That's definitely true.
Red Dragon Archfiend, Goyo Guardian, Black Rose. Like, there's no excuses aside from whatever shitty pulls that we did or did not get. But how bad could that possibly be, right? It's only sealed Showdown.
It couldn't. Nothing could possibly go wrong, Alex. Let me tell you.
Not at all. Not like last episode in the slightest. In that case, let's go ahead and shout the patron. It is David M. Chappell. Thank you for the support. Come on, buddy. Come on, David. Fuck!
Yes!
Right, I deserve that for the low blow at the beginning, but that's okay. All right.
All right. I will be going first. Surprise,
Your extra
surprise.
deck is larger this time compared to last episode, so that should make you feel a little bit more confident.
Don't read into that too much.
Oh, okay. It's probably like Storm Neos and shit.
Okay. This is an interesting opener. Let's go main one. Might as well, I guess. What's the worst that could happen? Let's normal summon Krebons. And then I will set one back row and I will pass the turn.
This is basically an FTK. All right, I'll draw.
It's very good.
Main one. You know how you stop the FTK?
How do you
By
stop
counteracting
the FTK?
it with the FTK.
Incredible. All right.
I'll do the exact same play you did.
All right, let's draw for turn. Yeah, this is going to be funny. Let's go for it. I am going to activate Book of Eclipse.
Well, yeah, that'll do it. All right, sure.
We'll set our Krebonses. I will normal summon Cactus Fighter.
There it
and
is.
I will flip summon Krebons.
And we're going for it.
Let's go for the boy. It is our good friend, Goyus Guardian.
This could not have worked out better for you. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go to battle phase. I'll attack in. Let's see if you got the telepathic power.
You can have
I get him. All right, and main phase 2, I will set a back row, and it is your go.
Okay, we'll draw.
Out, my boy.
Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, this is not good. I'll set one, and I'll throw it to you.
Okay, let's draw for turn. Main one. That's an interesting one. Do I want to go for the cheese? I like my Krebons too much. Let's go to battle phase. Go-yo attack!
All right, it is Dr. Cranium. So I believe how this should work is, I believe I get the trigger, and then you also get to take Cranium if you so wish.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
And I am actually going to take the Cranium here.
So don't know why I put it there, but you can go ahead and have him.
All right.
I will search. We'll grab Psychic Commander.
Interesting. Main phase 2, I am going to tribute your Dr. Cranium to normal summon Gigaplant.
Oh, fuck.
And now I have a decision to make. I can go for Stardust here, which is a pretty decent call. There are ways that you can get to Black Rose with like 2 cards in this set, so I think that's actually the plan, just to make sure that you can't like Giga fuck me off my own Gigaplant. So we are going to synchro summon ourselves a Stardust Dragon.
That is fine.
And I will pass the turn to you.
We'll draw. I will normal summon Psychic Commander.
I'm shocked, I tell you, shocked.
I will special summon the Tricky by discarding Oystermeister.
We have an 8 on our hands.
We do. I'll trigger Oystermeister. Oh, no, it's only when it's sent from field to grave. Never mind. I thought it was just sent to grave, period. This card sucks. All right, we'll go for it.
Okay.
Let's go for the other big boy, Red Dragon Archfiend.
There he is. He is a big old boy.
We'll go to battle. I will take out... I mean, both of these are annoying. I think Goyo's probably worse, so let's take him out.
Proceed to damage step.
You have to be fucking me, dude. Yeah?
I will activate Battle Tuned, banishing my Krebens and targeting. Whoops, that it's not quite that
Next
good.
game.
Oh!
Next game. Well, that was a quick one. That I don't think I had any shot that game. There was no chance with the way that my hand looked. My chance was you not having a way to stop Red Dragon Archfiend, which I thought to myself, he can probably make Stardust if he takes my Dr. Cranium somehow. And I was like, all right, so I'm going to go for the play that makes me Red Dragon Archfiend instead. And that still got punished. So fair play. You did everything correctly and got rewarded for it. So hopefully I can change that this time around.
Okay.
All right. Best of luck, sir. Main one. This actually looks a lot better. All right. How do we want to do this? Let's try setting a pair, and I'll just throw it to you.
All right, let's draw for turn. You're probably not running any 2000 defenders because there are like 2100 and up defenders in this set that are probably better.
It's always so weird when we have the tins because when you have like 4 or 5 sets, it's hard to play around certain things because the frequency at which you will actually pull them is a lot lower than usual.
For sure. I think the most likely thing that is a like 21-22 defender. The next most likely thing it is like Dr. Cranium, because that's a good card to set in your opener. You did show Dr. Cranium game 1. So I'm actually going to normal summon myself a Psychic Snail.
Oh, sure.
Let's go into battle. Let's swing into whatever this is.
It's Dr. Cranium.
All right.
Pay
Fair
8.
enough.
Grab Psychic Commander, I guess.
Main phase 2, I am going to set 1, set 2 is your go.
Okay, we will draw. Go to main 1. I will run out Psychic Commander.
Again, shocking.
No surprises there. Similarly, I will summon the Tricky.
Wow, we're really just doing this, aren't we?
We're trying, at the very least. I'm going to get rid of Turbo Synchron.
Interesting. Okay.
And we'll sync up here. I guess Stardust Dragon's the move. Yeah, we'll go for Stardust. Try to hit the snail.
Oh no. Anyway, proceed to damage step.
Prideful Roar.
Proceed to damage calculation.
Yep.
Here we go.
And there it is. So it didn't matter what we summoned anyway, so I take 3.
And
wow,
I
I'm just
take
getting
600.
annihilated this episode. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's draw for turn. That's an okay one. Yeah, let's normal summon ourselves a Jane. Let's go into battle. I will swing with Jane.
Take 18.
And I'll swing with Psychic Snail. And if you show me a Confusion Chafe, I am going to quit the game.
19.
All right, main phase 2. Let's set a back row, and we'll go to the end phase. We'll declare Jane. Milling 1,
Cranium,
2.
Comrades.
Not terrible overall. Your go.
All right, we'll draw. I honestly think the move is probably Krebon's Pass.
All right, makes sense to me. Draw for turn. Krebon's Pass is super awkward for me because if you summon literally 1/4, I'm boned. Let's go into battle phase. I will attack with Jane.
Pay 8.
All right, and I'll attack with the snail.
Pay 8 more.
Main phase 2, I will set a monster, and I will pass turn.
Okay.
Oh, and I do have to mill off of Jane.
There goes your Tricky.
Tricky is not a card I like to see getting milled.
Fighting
okay.
Spirit. Interesting. That's actually a pretty good one. Main 1. Well, I have the 4.
Yuck.
We'll try it. I mean, this is pretty much my last stand here. Goyo.
Yeah, Goyo is a card.
Okay. We will proceed to battle. I don't think it really matters all that much what I kill here. Whatever I kill and take, you can just also kill. Like, if you have Prideful Roar, I'm dead. They're both 4. I don't really think this, like, matters that much. I guess I'll just take out Jane.
I will take the 1,000, and I imagine you are going to steal.
Yes, please.
Here. All right.
All right.
Jane is all yours.
Second main, I'll set 1, and then I will be milling.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Those aren't bad. Go ahead.
Interesting. All right, draw for turn. You want to know something really funny? With like an extremely slightly different setup here, I would win the game this turn.
Okay.
In a bizarre fucking way, let me tell you.
Okay.
Let's see what we've got.
I'm happy that this world does not exist and we're here in reality.
Yeah, it is not ideal for me. Goyo is a goddamn problem.
I don't know how they thought printing this card was okay. Like by modern Yu-Gi-Oh standards, this card is not a problem. Back in 2009, they were on some good shit when they were like, yeah, let's make the best synchro monster level 6 and takes monsters. Like, this card is nuts.
It's like, it's easier to summon than Stardust. It can steal Stardust.
It has more attack than Stardust.
It has more attack than Stardust and the same defense stat as Stardust. They just gave it literally no downsides when it came out.
Yeah. Like, I know they need to, like, sell us on new summoning mechanics. Like, this was a fantastic way to do it. Thank you, Konami, but still, holy shit, this is insane.
This is so bad. This is so extremely bad.
I gotta be honest, I did not think just making a Goyo was gonna be that problematic for you.
It wouldn't be were my mills very, very slightly different and were my opening very, very slightly different.
Okay. So we're just living in a land of hypotheticals now.
It's a hypothetical that would be extremely likely because I drew like 3 of a card that is unhelpful to me right now.
Fantastic.
Let's go to battle phase and attack the Jane.
Yeah, you can have her back.
Main phase 2, I am going to normal summon Lumina.
Sure.
Do you have a response? Okay, we will declare Lumina. I am going to discard Genis, the Lightsworn Mender, targeting Jane. We'll summon Jane in defense. Then we're going to go to end phase.
Just try to mill a shit ton.
We're going to mill for Lumina and Jane. That's 1, 2, 3. That's okay. 1, 2. That's pretty good. Okay. I will end my turn.
Trying to Genis burn me to deck. That's cute. We'll draw. All right, main one. I just realized I missed something. Hopefully it doesn't matter. I'm going to assume it won't. Let's do this. I'm going to run out Oyster Meister. I'm going to go to battle. I'm going to start picking apart some of your board here. So let's go Meister into Jane.
There goes Jane.
Goyo into Lumina, and I will take her.
All you.
Okay. Second main, this is where I made a bit of a boo-boo, but that's fine. We'll go Lumina. I will pitch Phantom Dragon. I meant to summon that. I was fixated on something else. I'll bring out Garroth.
Ugh. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Building up the board. I'll set one, and then we'll go to end phase, and we'll see if I'm the best Yu-Gi-Oh player alive. So we milled. We'll mill 2.
Lumina.
And we did not hit.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. I hit the Lumina there.
A lot of things I'm very glad to see you hit.
Yeah. And that'll do for me. Go ahead.
Okay. Draw for turn. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. You're basically going to have nothing in your back row in order for this to work. But there is a potential. All right. Main phase 1. Oh, God, this hurts so badly because you're going to get so many pluses off of this. Book of Eclipse.
Holy fuck. Yeah, okay. Sure.
All right. Miracle Fertilizer. Target Gigaplant.
Oh, okay. I think this is fine. So what can you do here? You haven't normaled, so you can Gemini summon Gigaplant, get back Cactus Fighter.
You can't normal summon or set the turn that you use.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. So you just have a dude. So you could use Gigaplant. You may have something else. You can run over Goyo, which is a problem.
Then I am going to flip summon my Psychic Snail. If you have what I think you have, there's just like no getting out of this for me. We're going to flip summon Genis. Battle phase.
Sure.
Gigaplant into Goyo.
On attack deck, I will Fish Depth Charge.
God damn it. There it is. Yep. Oh, yeah. That was it. Nothing I could have really done about that.
Okay.
And then I will...
Miracle Fertilizer goes as well, sir.
Yeah, that is fine I will, and you get a token here, but I'm going to attack it with Genis if you get it. And then I will attack into what I'm fairly sure is the Lumina here.
Okay. That is the Lumina. You're correct. And then Genis will take out the token.
Attack into, yeah. And that's my turn.
Could have been worse. Well, actually, Book of Eclipse, right?
Yep.
Yep. So these flip up, and then I draw 2 before I even go to my draw phase. So
True.
now I draw. And this looks pretty damn good to me. We'll put Goyo to attack. Put Garroth to attack. Still have 2 back row at this point. I don't think I give a shit. I will summon your favorite card from last episode, Rose, Warrior of Revenge.
Oh boy, yeah, really coming back to make my life easier here.
Now, do I need to even sync here? Do I just have game? What is this? 13 plus 3 is 16. And then this is 9. I do not have a game. I am not even close. Very wishful thinking on my part here. But I do think it is more damage if I don't sync. So I'll go to battle. Rose into Genis.
I will take 1600.
Yes, 13 from her and 300 from her effect. Goyo into Psychic Snail.
I will take 900 here.
I will take your snail.
All you.
Goes to defense. Otherwise, I would have lethal. 1850.
Thinking on attack.
Ooh. Do you have what I think you have?
Nah, you've got it.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
game 3.
my God. Well, game 2 went about as badly for me as it could have. A lot of things
that was
lined
like game
up
1 for me, buddy.
True. Well, let's see if we can get another game 1. I'm going to go first.
Okay, it's going to be an uphill battle for me because you are going first, and going first has huge implications in this. So
okay.
Let's see what you got, buddy.
Looking
Best of
pretty
luck.
good. I'm going to draw for turn. That's a pretty decent hand. Let's normal summon ourselves a Jane.
Okay.
And then I will set a back row, and I will pass turn. We'll declare Jane, and we will mill 2. Fighting Spirit is not an ideal mill. Neither is Miracle Fertilizer. Yuck.
I will take both of those gladly. Main 1. I think the move here is set, and I've got 2 back row for you.
Okay. Draw for turn. So again, what that could be, it could be a Garroth, which you would have run over Jane with. It could be a Lumina, which you wouldn't set turn 1. It could be a Dr. Cranium, which it has been literally every time you've set a monster in this match.
But would I go 3 for 3, Robert?
Okay. Knowing that there's a very large chance that that is a Dr. Cranium, I'm actually going to normal summon Nettles here. Do you have a response?
Nope.
Okay, let's go to battle phase. I will attack in with Jane.
You are correct,
I
sir.
called it! Okay.
Okay. Now the question is what I actually want to grab off of this. Every time I have grabbed Psychic Commander, I don't think that is the move this time. Yeah, I lied. I'm getting Psychic Commander.
Wow, okay, incredible. All right, main phase 2, let's go for the boy. He has arrived.
There he is.
Fast turn.
We'll draw. Yuck. Well, we have to try, right? I will activate Psi Station.
Ooh, we getting beefy. All right, that's fine.
Normal commander.
Oh, all right. I see where this is going. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll pay for the Psi Station. We'll make him 1700 attack and a level 4. I will Book of Eclipse. Goyo Guardian. I just realized I did this out of order.
Yeah, you can do it in the correct order. I'll let you do it.
All right, thank you. I'm like, this is like Book of Moon, right? Okay, so let's assume I did that first because that's what I meant to do.
Order. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we'll attack.
Cool. To the grave with my Goyo Guardian after you do your thing.
I would have to pay 400. Yes, 400 because I need to make him 1600 defense.
True.
So we'll pay 4. And that is actually going to do it for me. Thank you for allowing me to do that in the correct order.
You are welcome. Draw for turn. There's always the thing I could do that will make you hate me.
That sounds like what the fans would want.
That does sound like exactly what the fans would want. Let's see.
I'm down. I'm curious to see what you've got that'll make me hate you.
Okay, let's activate Glorious Illusion, targeting Jane.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. We will summon ourselves a Jane.
She has appeared.
That is true. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm going to normal summon Jete Fighter. And I will use its effect targeting Psychic Commander.
That is annoying. So he'll go to defense, thinking here.
Okay.
What other 6s do we have? We have Iron Chain. I mean, obviously, you could have pulled stuff, too. There's... I don't remember the list of all the 6s that there are. Because some of them aren't generic either is the other problem. I know Iron Chain's like a generic one. If you pulled another Goyo, that would be fucking insane. I think to prevent this from getting worse, I will summon limit.
Interesting. Okay, that is a fascinating card to choose here. Let's go to battle, and
Yep.
I will attack with Jane.
No point to use the effect. That's fine.
And I will attack directly with the colossal Jete Fighter. All right.
700. 700.
Main
He's
phase
Goyo
2.
Guardian in training.
I'm about to lose a lot of cards off the top of my deck. Yeah, that's fine.
Just 4. Not that bad.
I will decide if there is something I do before end phase, and I don't think I will. We will mill 4. 1, 2.
Jumper, tricky.
3,
Glad to see that gone.
4. Ooh,
2,
okay.
Janus.
Well, could have been worse. I will pass turn.
When Dueling Book allows me, I will start my turn. There we go. Oh, of course. That is right on fucking time, per usual. All right, main one. I will normal Gemini Lancer. Let's take out Jute Fighter.
I will take 1100 here.
11.
Okay. Interesting choice.
Second main, I've got a back row. Go ahead.
Is there a Gemini Spark in my future?
Could be.
Main phase 1. Yeah. Let's just go for it. I am going to attack in with Jane.
I'll take the 3.
Okay. Main phase 2. I have to decide if there's anything else I want to do here before I mill out literally every card in my deck.
That's my game plan at this point. I'm just going to leave Jane around and use mill 4 a turn. If I draw Lady in White, you're fucked, buddy.
Main phase 2, I am going to set a back row, and I will go to end phase and mill some cards. There goes a Cactus Fighter.
Okay.
There goes a Janus. There goes a Telepathic Power, which I don't like losing, and a Jane. Okay, I will end my turn.
A lot of Light Sworns. All right, we'll draw.
Large number of them.
We'll try it. Garroth, hit.
I will. I'll let it go. I'll take the 50 here.
That'll do it for me. Go ahead.
Okay. Draw for turn.
You're welcome for cutting off the milling.
Yeah, actually greatly appreciated here. What do I want to do? Let's go normal summon Lumina. We will declare Lumina, and I have to think on discard here. I'm going to discard Card Rotate, and I'll target Jane.
Okay.
Let's go for it. I'm going to activate Fighting Spirit and equip it to Jane.
That is fine.
Okay. Let's go into battle, and I will attempt to attack over Garroth.
So this puts Jane at 24 to my
Correct.
1850, right?
Yeah.
So I would take 550, sure.
Okay. And I will pass turn on that. And we got
attacking with Lumina.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we're gonna sometimes I forget about attacking directly with
Sure.
monsters.
You know,
All right.
you let me do the Book of Eclipse thing. I'll give you the 1,000 damage.
All right,
That's
sounds
fine.
good.
Yeah.
And
All right,
I
mill
will
your 5 too.
I will mill 5 whole cards. There goes a Krebons. All right, that's an interesting set of mills. Your go.
3 Janes must be nice. All right, I'll draw.
It's doing me a lot of good right now. It's just taking out my entire deck.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with that if I'm being honest. Gemini Lancer.
That is fine.
Take out Lumina.
I'm
preventing the mills. That's 3 less cards you'll mill next turn.
True, you've got me there. Oh, hilarious that summon limit includes flip summons. That's
It does.
very, very funny. I will take 8.
Second main, don't got much else. Go ahead.
All right, draw for turn.
This is as caveman Yu-Gi-Oh as it gets.
It has certainly become a very simplified game state very, very quickly. Let's go to battle phase, and I am going to attack in with Jane.
I take 6. That's fine.
Okay. What's my clock here? much slower now that I only have Jane on the board. Main phase 2, I am going to set a back row, and end phase Jane will mill 2.
Okay. Graceful Revival. That's a good one. And Gregonith. All right. We will draw. That's an interesting one. So, I did see Prideful Roar out of you game 1, and it's not in your graveyard. I don't think you have it in the back. Well, I don't think this is Prideful Roar. This, what you just set, could very well be Prideful Roar. I think I need to try for this, because I feel like this may be my best opportunity.
Okay.
To try to claw my way back into this. It's very risky, but I don't really think I have much of a choice. I will normal summon a Jane of my own.
Interesting. Okay.
Attempt to crash.
Proceed to damage step.
Yeah, you got the Prideful Roar.
I actually have the Battle Tuned.
Oh, okay. Well, that's equally as bad for me.
I will use to banish... what's my biggest tuner? My biggest tuner is Krebons.
All right, so I'm going to take 12. So I'm dead, because then you just attack me next turn. All right.
Wow, good games. That was a hell of a match.
My other alternative was to just, like, set Obsidian Dragon, but, like, you're just going to clear it, so it didn't really matter. I figure with this, if I connect, then Fighting Spirit falls off at the very least, and then there's a chance I don't die, and then I have Obsidian Dragon set next turn, and you can't clear it because Jane no longer gets the boost from Fighting Spirit. So that was my logic behind that. So that way I at least could make a wall and maybe have you mill yourself out with Jane. And then I had Telepathic Power set, but I just didn't see a Psychic. I saw this the turn you killed Psychic Commander with
no.
Jane. And I was like, are you kidding? Because I have like 10 or 12 Psychics in my deck. So this card's pretty live. But it was just the turn after of all things. So I was like, damn, that's pretty rough. Last card in hand was Rose, and I just couldn't get a guy to stick. So if I got Obsidian Dragon to stick, then the next turn was to go Rose and make an 8 and start taking the game back. But
well, I will tell you, if it makes you feel any better, you are 100% right to activate that Fighting Spirit, because I did pull the second Goyo
You
Guardian.
had a second Goyo. Fuck off. Buddy, what is your luck in 5Ds? You've gotten one of the God Synchros.
What can I tell you? I am a signer.
You got Thought Ruler in Duelist Genesis. You got Black Rose last episode, and you got a second Goyo. You were gifted a Goyo.
I am the signer of
another
YouTube.
Goyo.
What can I say?
Oh my God. Well, good thing I had fucking summon limit then.
Yeah, you were
Jesus
absolutely
Christ.
right to do that. So game 2, game 2A, I saw like 20 monsters in my deck and not a single tuner. And I had 2 cards in my back row that would have lined up a synchro play had I seen a single tuner the entire game. The other funny thing, so the thing I was talking about was I had 3 Genis. If I had access to a 3rd Lightsworn, I would have immediately won the game because of burn damage.
Just burn. That's
I would have just summoned the Genis, flip summoned my other Genis, summoned the Lightsworn, and passed the turn and won the game.
And that's it. Yeah.
But
if it makes you feel any better, I had summon limit last game too. So if you tried the synchro thing, I just would have stopped you.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
That was, I just never had to flip it. There wasn't a point to. The time I took a long time to think when you flipped, I think, the Psychic Snail up after the Book of Eclipse. That's when I was thinking, I'm like, do I summon limit in case he has some weird shenanigans? But I'm like, now I'll wait till he like limit reverses or Graceful Revival or something. So that was the plan. But I mean, your deck seemed pretty competent. I mean, obviously we're on like pretty similar ideas, but our polls were pretty different for what it's worth, just because of the nature of this type of episode, which I think makes it more fun. Because sometimes when we're playing exactly the same, when we're just playing one set, it's very likely we're going to pull a lot of the same cards. But when we have a fewer amount, we actually pull quite differently. So it was cool to see the different directions we were able to go.
Yeah, definitely. Aside from Goyo, I'm pretty sure my total holo count was 2 copies of Yubel and 2 copies of Drastic Drop-Off.
Excellent.
But yeah, I was really happy with the commons and rares. I figured this was going to be a generally good set for both of us, just because Light of Destruction and Duelist Genesis both have just the most incredibly nutso commons in the game. You're running the Montage Dragon. All right.
I actually boarded it in for the last game because I came to the realization that if I'm in a hand where I'm bricked on monsters, sort of how I was this game, where I just had a bunch of monsters that I couldn't contest your Jane here. So had I had Montage Dragon and 3 monsters, I could have just dumped my hand and summoned him, and he's 4,200 attack. So he immediately just is a threat on the field, and also is a way to out something such as Goyo Guardian or Stardust Dragon. So I thought to myself, I didn't initially board it in, but I was thinking that actually seems okay, because we do have a tendency in this series sometimes just to brick on like too many monsters in hand.
For
so
sure.
It is like a huge neg, but at the same time, if you don't have removal for a 4,200 attack dude, then that's a problem for you.
And if your opponent is low and or you have like a battle tuned, you could just win the game on the spot. So I can understand the logic
absolutely.
there.
Yeah. It did hard lose to like Book of Eclipse, which I was worried about, but like, I mean, whatever. It was only supposed to be used as like a desperation card, sort of like I was kind of thinking about like a Gores, like a really bad Gores in a way. But yeah, I was happy I got my Oystermeister Fish Depth Charge again, because I love that little combo.
It's a
fun.
really good
and
combo.
it's actual removal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 of each of them, luckily.
Nice.
So I was able to have some solid removal. I also pulled 3 of the selection, which sounds insane, but I ended up siding it out because after the first game, I didn't even get to activate it. It was like so dead. So I actually just sided it out completely because I was just realizing that maybe it's not as good as I think. You have to be in like, maybe because of the way that we were playing with 4 different sets, it wasn't as good as it was in like Duelist Genesis or whatever set it originally came in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you said, we're going to be summoning a bunch of different types this episode, and so I guess it prevents like if you have a Jane, your opponent going into Goyo, or your opponent's second
it's
psychic
so specific,
monster.
Though.
Yeah, it's very, very specific. But this was a blast. This was a great set of cards for us to work with, and it was a lot of fun to deck build for.
Yeah, I think 5Ds has definitely been a lot of fun. I mean, these last like 10 or 15 episodes have all been great, but now that we're in 5Ds and synchroing, I will say, I was a bit worried that we weren't going to have like the fodder to be able to synchro summon in this series, but I mean, we've synchro summoned multiple times every episode so far of 5Ds, and hopefully that remains to be the case, because there are some whack as fuck synchros in later sets that we're going to get to pull out, and I am here for it.
I'm so excited for it.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shadow1317, Moto, Cameron Smith, Tim00x3, MBT Playing the Dolce, Ika Iron Fang, Counter Meatball, Part 2, Pony Star, Game and Hogan, Synchro Guy, I Ship MBT and Simo, Draconic Walkslide, Jordan Coons, Iron Blade Team, Jesse Wood, Chris Hill, David Moon, Phoenix the Immortal, Sky Rose, Dylan Hunter, Cody Brett, John Q Base, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Serious Business, Carlos CT, Flannel Daddy, Fornic TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, MBT Pod Injecting the Story Lily, Matthew Brady, Max, the Warlock Investors, Janitor, Valen Jackson, Focal Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Orange Glad, I didn't say Alpha Tribute Benton, Rulebon, Yodabon, Helios 515, the Anti-Big Brain, Ben K, OTK Play, Simping Presico, Mike Ty, Stolpen Amethyst, Tyler H, Nicholas Carpenter, Simo's Heron of Sexy YouTubers, LGMBTQ, Nim Noodle, Malibran for the Burning Tunnel, Stella and Zilla Vermillion, Wonder Waffle, James King, Skull Servant, and the Wandering Doom, their boyfriends, MBT cancel by all, community soon, cancel by all, committee soon, cancel by all, players soon, not reading cards makes the game interesting, and you know it, The Undertaker is a hero at MBT. Wait, play the content video one more time, Hunter Reed, TTV Shrugs IX, Cayman CJ, ITF, The Art Echo, and Corbane. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.